My name is Joey Gossett, and I am here to tell you about the unit that I found for STEM curriculum, and it is from teachengineering.org. Teachengineering.org is supported by the University of Colorado in Boulder. This particular unit is called Simple Machines, as you can see from the top here. It's called Simple Machines, and it is very up to date. I will say that as I perused through the lessons and activities, I found that it was last modified on September 10th of 2021. So someone is keeping this up to date. It is there is you can do a quick look of each one of these, and so if I were to choose on this quick look, I could see that it is meant for grade level 8. They have 7 through 9 in parentheses. There are 5 lessons, 5 activities in the subject area of physical science, and we will talk about that. I'll discuss that here in a minute as far as the other curriculum. This is just an overview page, a summary, engineering connection, and so on. And I will tell you that there are in this the 5 lesson series with 5 activities, and it's down here in the summary. Just some of the key points I want to point out. Students are introduced to 6 simple machines, and you can see here they list all of those different machines that they're used to. And it says that students begin to think critically about machine inventions and their pervasive role in our lives. There are hands-on activities, and in each lesson, so each lesson is based in science and organized to show different aspects such as the engineering connection, the learning objectives, the educational standards are listed for each one of these lessons. And as we go down through the lessons, I can show you that here in a second. There are lists of materials needed. There are motivational pieces, and some of the motivation for some of these, they connect these lessons to real world issues. The procedure is there and the assessment. These also contain some activity extensions, so if students were interested in going above and beyond what the lesson required and really interested in it, then they could continue. There is also a section in some of these that has a lesson background for teachers, and there are some vocabulary. A couple of the lessons also have troubleshooting sections for students because they might face some issues, and those troubleshooting will help the teacher a little bit too. So the standards for the lessons come from Common Core for math, the International Technology and Engineering Educators Association for Technology, various state standards that teachers might need to cover, and then the engineering curriculum overall aligns to the next generation science standards. The grade level for this, I found as I'm looking through it, is very appropriate. There is a horizontal articulation through science, technology, engineering, and math, and that articulation, the horizontal articulation, I found is done appropriately as well. Because this unit incorporates those 4 STEM areas, science, technology, engineering, and math, they all work together within the unit through the lessons and activities. So I would categorize this as a multidisciplinary unit. So as we look through each one of these, here are your papers, my notes. The main focus of this is for students to actually design a Rube Goldberg. So there are, you can see this broken down to unit, lesson, and activity. So if we click on the first one, if we look at this one right here, the advantage of machines, you can see it will take you to this lesson, and it's just simple machines. This is for pulleys, and it shows you this is lesson 1 in the unit, time required 15 minutes. This is broken down very nicely. If I was teaching STEM, I would be pretty excited about this. Here you can see the educational standards. We have the math and the technology, and then there are state standards here. So when you click on that, this is for Colorado. I am from Indiana. I'm in Indiana, so I would probably not use the ones from Colorado, but I could add mine to this. So also on each page for each lesson, you can see that there are other curriculum units, and that's pretty neat. And those would align with a lot of the STEM issues as well. So here you can see there's some introduction and motivation. They talk about worse being equal to the force applied times the distance the object is moved. They do give some vocabulary here for the students to know that that's what they're going to be working on, and then some graphics so that students can visualize that. There's some background for teachers if I'm teaching this, because I'm part of STEM, but I'm not well versed in this particular type of lesson. At least I could go with it and try. Here is some more vocabulary that's actually listed as vocabulary. And then each lesson has assessments. So there are pre-lesson assessments, post-introduction, and you can see the different kinds. Not every lesson has the same exact type of assessments. Some have journal writing. Others have worksheets that students can do. So this is the lesson, and as you see, as I'm scrolling up, you can see in the right-hand side over here, there is the summary and then the different types of breakout of the lesson. And that is with each one of those lessons. So that's that lesson in particular, and that's the advantage of machines. And then the next part, the blue, is the activity. So you can go through, it's an activity, a simple solution for circus, so it makes it kind of fun for the students. Once again, time required, group size. This one has group size, subject area, and then here you can see the performance expectations for this one. Here are the educational standards once again, and it gives you materials lists, there's worksheets, different assessments, prereq knowledge, and then the procedure. So I have found that the lessons and activities within this unit are beautifully organized. I would be jealous, honestly. I didn't have this type of organization in lessons that were provided for me or that I designed even. So, it all culminates to the Rube Goldberg and the meaning of machines. This is the last lesson that they have, but the most important part of this is that all of these lessons build up to this, where the students have to design and build a Rube Goldberg. And you can see there's a video embedded in this. For students, they have more expectations. And just as you go down, you can see educational standards. Math is in this one. Here are the science standards, technology standards, again, state standards that teachers in Colorado have to meet, but you could adapt that for the state in which you reside and teach. So I found this to be very impressive. And in my search for a curriculum unit for STEM, I had some difficulty at first looking and trying to find something. And I came across this, and then Dr. Rose actually replied to an email, or replied to what I posted in that on that question board. And this was one of the websites she suggested as well. So this is pretty awesome, and I'm sure that those of you who are involved with STEM curriculum have probably already found this website. But I don't I personally, I was so excited to see it. I just can't find anything negative about it at this point. So this is the curriculum unit that I found, and I think I have explained everything I want to explain at this point. I think that it's really fantastic because it involves the students so much. They are not being lectured. It's mostly hands-on, and I like how it aligns to these standards that are so important. So thank you very much.